Parents, you're probably helping your teen pick their career completely the wrong way. People use grades, personality quizzes, find your passion. That all sounds helpful, right? But it's not. We have to fix the order of operations so their future actually fits the type of life that they want to live. This is how we do it now. You're so good at math, so engineer, and schools reinforce this a lot. If kids do well academically, they will funnel them into medicine, engineering, other things that just because they're good jobs doesn't actually mean it's a good job for your child. Or worse, personality tests. These are my least favorite way to pick careers. Oh, you're an ENFP? Go be a journalist. That is absolutely terrible advice. And I say that as an ENFP who was going to school to be a journalist because that's what the Myers-Briggs test said. That's a crazy way to pick work. There are so many people that are really satisfied in jobs because they fit their needs, not because they fit their personality type. Passion hunt. Oh, you love arts. Go major in fine arts. That's absolutely insane. We do this all the time, and this is how people end up in $200,000 worth of debt for digital arts. The other problem is that after schools go through this absolutely insane way to pick work, then they tack on a college degree requirement. They will tell your child, you're good at math, so be an engineer, and now you have to go get an engineering degree. Okay, well, that doesn't really make sense. There are lots of ways to go into things that are engineering based and get them into in-demand industries much faster that don't require them to buy college degrees at all. And let's go back to our journalism example. Go be a journalist. So go to school to be a journalism major? Why are you going to school to learn how to write words? Go apply for an entry-level job. This happens all the time. Journalists at the end of the day are writers and communicators. They need to go work in their field of study. They need to be in the room. They need to actually get the reps. And the best way to do that is entry-level work. And they're better positioned to take entry-level work if they don't have a ton of student debt. And then you love art, let's go get a digital art degree. No, absolutely not. Build a portfolio, teach yourself open source projects. No one cares about your art degree. People only care about portfolio. And if you don't have a good portfolio, which is not something that school is going to give you, again, you're going to be in a worse position because your child's not going to be able to take the time to learn the actual skills they need to build in-demand portfolio with current art tools to get work in those industries. And they might not even like working in art. They might just like art in general. And so buying a degree and just automatic college because they're interested in these things is not a good strategy for career or work that actually fits the way they want to live. These steps skip the day-to-day life that they actually will have to live because of the job that they're going to get, because of the degree they are going to be funneled into. And when you think about it, it's totally backwards to do it that way. This is the classic broken formula that we use now. That's why so many people are in massive student debt and really unhappy in their jobs. Now, here's why this really fails. Grades change. They're an A+ student now. They're going to be burned out in 4 years. And this happens all the time. The second is personality tests. These are snapshots in time. You are going to get different personality tests throughout your life because your mood today and your mood at 35 years old are going to be totally different. Passions shift. It might be Fortnite now, and maybe it's mortgage brokering later. As they get exposed to different types of work, different industries, they're going to realize that they're really interested in things that maybe other people aren't. And that's where their strengths are going to lie. The college default is really the most dangerous thing here because it's 4 to 6 years. It's massive debt, but there's no guarantee of it actually matching the life goals that they're going to have. So if we use life goals now, we're much more likely to get an outcome because your general values at this point are going to stay fairly consistent compared to your personality, compared to your career passion, and especially compared to your grades, which the minute you graduate high school don't matter at all. This can be so simply avoided through conversation. The correct order of operations is life factors first. Schedule. When do you want to work? Income. How much do you need to make to do what you want in your life? Work environment. What kind of work environment do you want to go into? Do you like blood, night shifts, and fluorescent lighting? If you don't, then being in medicine is probably not the right fit. Location. Are you going to be able to live and do your life where you want to live and do your life? Because the where of happiness dictates a lot about your life satisfaction. Now you look at skills and interests. Once you've figured out what 4 factors are really important to them, then you help them figure out how their current skills and interests align with those things within the bounds of careers that actually fit those 4 factors that they need to have in their work. So let's flip the script. Instead, we're going to ask life questions. Do you want your weekends off? What do you need minimum to be paid in order to live how you want and do the things that are important to you? You want to work indoors or outdoors? Hybrid or at a desk 9 to 5? Do you want to be able to stay near us and Aunt Susan or Grandma? Or do you want to travel the world? And those aren't always mutually exclusive. Now, the second thing is match work that actually fits this. Okay, so you want remote and you have a $70,000 goal and you like tech? Okay, perfect. Now we're going into cybersecurity. All right. You want sunny weather and you don't want to work nights and you like doing hands-on stuff? Okay, maybe solar panel tech is actually the right fit. Then you worry about training path. You check to see if a degree is even required. You would be shocked at how few jobs actually require degrees. Out of all 867 jobs in the Bureau of Labor Statistics, only 7.7% of all those jobs require degrees. There are different pathways to all of the other 92.3%, which is almost all the jobs. This includes six-figure jobs, tech jobs, high-paying jobs, interesting jobs, cool jobs, flexible jobs, jobs that allow them to go into business ownership. The third thing, check what training is actually needed. Does the job legally require a degree? That's where you start. That is the baseline. If yes, now you weigh the cost and the outcome. For some people, they are going to want to be medical doctors. For some people, they're going to go, that is way too much schooling, that is way too much money, and I can get the income that I want or the work environment that I want without having to do that. So if no, choose a cert, a boot camp, or on-the-job training. And you look through what's available in your area within the timeline they want to learn on your budget. And it totally changes the way that you use educational spend and the way that your child approaches the learning that they're going to have to do to get the job they want. And just to de-risk this for you a little bit further, college will always be there. A college is a business. It's basically a hedge fund. They are always going to take your child's money. And that debt is bankruptcy exempt. So there's no rush to take it on. If you wait until your child is 25, not only will their prefrontal cortex be fully formed, but they will be independent from you on that FAFSA, and the cost goes through the floor. And also the likelihood that they're actually getting a degree that they need at that point, much higher. And it's also possible that their career will pay for it at that point, which is how it should be if you actually need the degree. Almost no jobs do. College is a tool. It's not a default. Hammers are great if you have a nail. They're useless if you have a screw. Degrees are powerful when the job actually requires it. Doctor, CPA, audiologist, speech language pathologist, a lot of your ISTs. For most high-paying paths, especially now, college is not a requirement and it can even delay them. So here's a quick checklist you can use. Rank the 4 life factors with your teen that are actually important to them. If they can't actually figure out schedule, income, location, and work environment, have them do the opposite. Figure out what income is too low, have them figure out what locations they don't want to live in, have them figure out what work environments they would hate, and then help them figure out what schedules would just not work for them. Then using these criteria, go out to the internet, and yes, you're just going to have to do a lot of research. That's what we do in the Degree Free Launch program. List 5 jobs that fit the things that they actually need out of their job. Then go through and highlight which jobs legally need a degree. Check the legal requirements. Then compare the cost and the time for each of the training routes that are available for each of these jobs, and then decide before signing a single loan document from a college. A ton of objections I hear, but college is a safety net. Debt is not a safety net. That is such a crazy way to look at this purchase, and it really goes to show how strong the marketing is because they've scared parents into co-signing loans or pushing their children into one-way bankruptcy exempt debt that their children do not need to get the type of lives that they want. Debt is not safety. Debt is not a net. Skills are a net, especially going into an AI age where career turnarounds are going to be 18 to 36 months. Your kids quite literally do not have 4 to 6 years to waste, and the average 104 to 156K to spend on a degree that doesn't teach them any skills unless it's legally required for a license that's going to get them a job that fits their life goals. What if they regret not going? Nobody's going to regret not going into debt too soon. A college is a business. Your child can go back and buy from them at any point. And that degree will be much lower risk and possibly even paid for by a company who's going to give them a guaranteed raise for getting it. Isn't passion important? Yes, absolutely. I'm very passionate about what I do now, but my basic needs are met, and your child has to have their basic needs met or they can't worry about their passion, or they're going to be too busy worrying about the fact they can't pay rent, they can't afford their groceries, they're not able to live near friends or family, or they're not able to do the things that they actually care about in their life outside of work, because work is not your whole life. And throughout all of human history, this has been a very commonly known fact. I'm not really sure why we've all decided to mind wipe it in the last few decades, other than colleges have quite a bit to profit from the fact that we just say, oh, you have to follow your passion, and the only way to follow your passion is to buy a 4-year degree from us. So quick recap, the wrong way to help your teenager pick work is grades, personality, passion, and then college. Yikes. The right way is what schedule do you need? What income do you need? What work environment do you need? And what location do you need to live in? All right, what skills do you actually need to get those jobs? Okay, what's the best training method for those jobs that you actually have to do that's available near us on our timeline and on our budget? And now we're successful because we've negated all the risk through basic strategic questions. This is a great way to equip them to, one, even if they're going to choose from the limited menu that schools give them, at least understand which of those jobs are going to fit their life goals, much better than the way that they're having them do it now. It's also probably going to help with your mindset as well as you look objectively at these job options that they've been given and go, that doesn't really fit what they actually want out of their life. If this helped you, please like the video, subscribe, and then share this with another parent who's staring at college brochures and panicking because they're not sure how to help their child navigate this decision.